Alrighty guys, welcome back to another session of backtesting where I'm going to be backtesting another half month's worth of data. This is episode number 20 I believe 6 or some shit. Or 28, I believe. What is it? 28 of our backtesting streams where we are going from 2022 all the way up until 2026 in one single stretch. If you guys are interested in checking out the rest of these videos, this entire process is going to be recorded and posted on my YouTube. And if you guys like this type of content, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And let's drop straight into it. With that being said, the last day session that we did do was April. We came out with 6R on the month. That's over the course of these trades here. And we are good. This is your win rate and stuff like that. Looking to improve these. Average R is going to be 2, as that is what we are aiming for. And then so on and so forth. And away from that, let's just drop straight into the charts. Here's some things that I wrote up and I collected over pretty much the whole day of hindsight. I'm going to be continuing doing a lot more hindsight, but away from that, okay, this side, sorry, my bad. I was trying to pull out some things. Here's like my extras. We're going to be looking over these lists as well as we are going through it, just to stick to my, these are my rules. Overnight expansions, no trades. Previous days overly expands, we can anticipate a daily accumulation. Messy daily profiles. Tight ranges where it's like a barcode, it will stay a barcode. 930 overly expands with no pullbacks, like I'm too high or low in the range, then I will not be taking that 15-minute swings. And all objectives are taken prior to my thing, then obviously we're not going to have any trades there. With that being said, here's your list. We'll be going over this throughout every single trade as well, just to be sure that we are dropping in on what we want to talk about, right? So with that being said, always dropping in on the daily time frame. Let's drop in on the weekly here. Looking like external, internal right now, as YM is reversing price. With YM reversing price the way it is definitely external, internal. Very bearish day going into the daily open. We do tap into a very relative level here, and I would like to feed price back down to the inside, as all the assets is tapping into that relative level. Here we can take notice of a very obvious daily profile where it is an open high into this external range. Now I'm looking to trade ERL to IRL. Where is it? ERL to IRL. Holy shit, why is it so far? Right, and then now we can take notice of the daily profile is an open high low close, and you can obviously see that YM wants to go down to this low first, and then ultimately in the, if we can get to it, the external draw is down here. I'm not going to aim for all the way down to this one just because that's external, but our easy to draw to low hanging fruit is here. And then now that's what we can see. As you can tell, YM is going straight through this fair value gap on all of these lows. So there is a failure to manipulate standard where we can trade lower, as we are closing very bearish within the 6 a.m. candle. So with the 6 a.m. candle closing that way, where is failure to manipulate, right? With the 6 a.m. candle closing that way like that, we can go and trade down to this low, as the failure to manipulate equals lower prices. Lower prices where? To the next draw on liquidity. With this being said, we can take notice of a 6 a.m. C2. NQ is obviously the stronger asset. Honestly, you could trade NQ to the next draw on liquidity here as that lagging asset. Let's see if we can frame something like that, right? So you do have this 1 hour CISD forming the lowest point of the day. With the forming of this lowest point or highest point of the day, sorry, because right now I'm not able to trade YM, as YM has overly expanded. But with the failure to manipulate this low, the SMT that is posted here at this low like that is going to get broken because it's considered false. Why is it considered false? Because NQ and everything is reversing away from it, and we are going down to these levels. So with that being said, we do have a 15-minute swing formation here. And we can take notice that price has, if we're going to be correct, this 15-minute swing should push into 10 a.m. for us to just go and continue, and we're trading within the 10 a.m. C3 as a positional entry down to these lows that's located like that, as we do have that CISD and a 15-minute OB already. So with the CISD that's located like here, is it a CISD? I mean, yeah, it's a CISD and then a continuation OB with a 15-minute push. All assets is reversing away from this high. YM is failing to manipulate. Phases and price is confirming as we do have this V shape. One thing I can say I don't like is the fact that we are impacting this low already, but this is a very strong closure through it. I'm pretty open to trading this and then letting the 10 a.m. open up high into here and then go down, or if 10 a.m. just rips, it just rips, right? So I'm going to get in as a 10 a.m. positional entry, as I would like to see price just flush literally like right now because of the fact that we're super bearish here. So let's get in as a 10 a.m. positional and see if we get it as the daily candle, open, high, low, close, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, trading a 15-minute C3, and lagging asset logic where we fail to manipulate this and we wait for a new 15-minute swing, as it says in the extras here. Where is it? Extras here. After leading takes the draw on liquidity, wait for the new fractal to form, allowing the phases to pass, which we did. Minimum wait time is the new candle opening, and we're trading away from a new 15-minute swing formation. So yeah, this looks good. So we get activated here. Let's see if we get it. And then there would be your TP to 2R to break that SMT that YM has put in. Why do I not want to trade YM? It's just YM is too low in the range already, where now we can take notice that because of this, I can't really trade YM lower because of it being at the bottom of the expansion leg. But I can trade the lagging assets, ES and NQ, to go and catch up to where YM is, as YM is the leading, and we could trade down just to that low hanging fruit. Of course, we don't want to go and trade it down to here because YM is down there, but we can at least minimal reach this low hanging fruit where we can what is that called, get the different phase and price added. So that would be your 2R located like that, and that's how you would get on side with the trade, right? So again, higher time frame bias was telling us external, internal. That's your universal model. Then we do have a clear daily profile of an open, high, low, close. We have a small wick on that 6 a.m. candle, which is going to be pushing down. We have a 6 a.m. C2 looking for a 10 a.m. C3. We have a 1 hour CISD telling me change in order flow. We have a 1 hour C3 looking for a 10 a.m. C4. We'll have a 15-minute C2, and we're trading away from the 15-minute C2 down to here as the draw on liquidity, as YM has failed to manipulate this, so we can break that SMT that's looking like that. So we have the universal model and everything in between, and that's basically what the trade was. And then you do have that lower time frame V-shape reversal that confirms that 15-minute C2 is an actual thing as it opens up high and expands away. We want to see the next candles expand for that C3 and 4 of that 15-minute time frame. With that being said, that is your universal model, ERL, intraday profile, open, high, low, close, clear phases and price with a V-shape reversal. Entry signature was the 15-minute pullback, trading away from a 15-minute C2. Now we're trading within the 15-minute C3. The draw on liquidity was the lagging asset logic, and the lower time frame V-shape was located there that confirmed that C2 formation, where we confirmed that lower the high, and that's your steps and shit. Fucking yeah. I don't know how much times I gotta repeat it. Shit. I don't think I want to do it like that because that's a lot of times I repeated it. Cool. So with that being said, we do have a daily C2 pressing us off of external range. With that daily C2 pressing us off of external range, where can we anticipate for price to go to? These lows that's located below, as we are going from that range high back down to this range low, which is equal lows with those lows like that. So that's a Tuesday reversal, Wednesday expansion, Monday accumulate, Tuesday manipulate, Wednesday going down lower. We do have that daily C2 here, and we have a bunch of lows that we would like to go and trade to. The first level of location where I would like to go and trade to is this previous day lows that is located there. And with that being said, let's see if we can frame to there. So we can take notice of a range high to range low. We do want to take notice of this daily profile is an open low high close, and we are tapping us into a relevant level. I do not like these equal lows here, so I am still going to be leaning bearish, because any move away from these equal lows is going to be considered a what is that called? Is going to be considered a fucking, what is that thing called? a retracement. There is SMT in between these highs, something to take note of, as we are rejecting off of these highs quite aggressively, and we have a 6 a.m. C2. I am now looking for a 10 a.m. C3, as the SMT direction is showing me that NQ is a lot weaker, and we do have this accumulation. Here's your manipulation, and we do have that 9 a.m. C2 that's located like that. With the 9 a.m. C2, I'm looking for a 10 a.m. C3, 30-minute C2, looking for a 10 a.m. C3. Are we trading away from a 15-minute swing formation? No, we are not. So with that not being a 15-minute swing formation here, we do have a V-shaped reversal here on YM. Problem with this is we are very low in the range right now, as we are right up against the draw on liquidity, and this is going to be a little bit more on the difficult end for me to get on side with. As NQ is supposed to be the weakest, but this is not a V-shaped reversal that's confirming this 1 hour C2, right? So without that V-shaped reversal here, you can't really trade that. YM is going down to the downside here, and we do have that reaction off of this certain level, and we would like to trade down lower. So with this being said, I really can't trade here because of the fact we're impacting relevant levels here, and I don't have a stop location, realistically speaking. My stops would have to be all the way the fuck up there. Bro, that's a little wild, right? I really don't want to go and trade something like that. Let's wait to see what we can get here. See if we get a continuation signature. So price is making its way back up into this 15-minute gap. Gaps away from manipulations is gaps that we would like to see. Price hold down to the downside here. So we get that first 15-minute C2. Let's see if we can trade within this 15-minute C3. What gaps going to form here? We would like to see a V-shaped reversal off of that 15-minute high to go and trade down lower. So price does make its way back up one more time. Let's wait for a 15-minute swing here. Okay, well, price is fucking not manipulating. Inverse that gap. With the inversion of that gap, that automatically becomes a lower probability for me. I really wouldn't want to go and trade it because of the fact that we inverse that gap. Now we can anticipate with the 15-minute inversion, disrespect of that gap, we can possibly see this high here. We are failing to go and displace lower, as we are hitting this high here now, which is an AMD. Let's see if we can get a 15-minute swing right here. Yeah, let's see if this goes 15-minute swing formation like this. Because there is still this SMT that's like that, but the asset that's setting it is really just accumulating. We'd want to see this fucking compress, bro. Because this would be a 10 a.m. open high. Hella lows that's located below. Accumulation, manipulation. Set the high of this manipulation with a 15-minute swing, and then V-shape away. So right now we are actually very bullish. I wouldn't want to participate in anything bullish because I can't trade away from these lows. It's not possible. And I really don't want to keep trying to short this after it ran up this fucking far, right? So we really just wouldn't want to trade anything like that. So it was bullish here, as the daily profile is showing, I guess so, right? Accumulation, manipulation. But the problem with this isn't a relevant level. This is not a relevant level. These are equal lows, and this is an accumulation right here. We could possibly see this manipulation and then trade lower, but it didn't. And by the time you really recognize that it's not going lower, this fucker is long gone. And then YM is just accumulating, so you don't really want to trade this on YM, right? There's no reason to. And for this, I was looking more so for this high to get swept and then for us to compress downwards as this different phase in price, which I would label this all as an accumulation because it's not really going anywhere, right? All we're doing is generating liquidity, generating liquidity, generating liquidity, generating liquidity for us to hit a relevant point of interest, catch a 15-minute swing formation, hit and V-shape away, CISD, whatever, short off of here, short the C2 to all of that low resistance that is left below with that equal low, marking this as your accumulation and looking for this to be your manipulation. And then from this manipulation, looking for the distribution back down to the downside, and we trade the distribution. But that didn't happen, and it looks like it wants all of these highs that's located here as your original accumulation. It just doesn't make sense, right? We're within this range, but we're not going down to the range lows. We don't trade away from equal lows. So with that being said, no trades there. It does end up going there, but only after sweeping out those highs that is located above. So the only reason it didn't go down there is because of the fact that YM wanted to, or NQ did want to go and sweep out Yeah, so it did want to go there, but it wanted to go up first as a daily profile open, high, low, close, where that daily candle probably did close like a very long wick. Yeah, kind of weird here, just within that chop, right? And then we end up sweeping out that low, and now it's looking like an external internal type model where we are gonna go and head up higher. YM really failing to manipulate out that low there, and with YM failing to manipulate, NQ is manipulating. So with that being said, I would much rather trade up higher, back into the range. But NQ right now is within this higher time frame consolidation where I can't really tell if we're actually going to be bullish here. I do take notice that we have this range low getting impacted. We have that expansion in and expansion away. YM, however, not manipulating. YM looking like we do want to go down to these next levels. However, the thing about YM is when we have an overnight expansion into a relevant level and we have already expanded pretty much the length of the daily candle into a relevant level, what can we anticipate? Is a different phase in price. We can anticipate for, sorry, hold on, let me catch my breath. When we have that overnight expansion, we can have that New York consolidation and a New York different phase in price as we are showing signs of accumulation already. So with this signs of accumulation, we can take notice that YM or NQ is reversing price up to the upside, and we could be going up to this high day, or at least minimal to that high, if we wanted to participate in this, because this is going to be a reversal day, a C2 formation with a very large wick. We pretty much got to get in like right fucking now, honestly, because we'd want to get in before we reach up here, because we'd want to target these highs, not fucking at these highs, right? So because of that large wicket that really doesn't support it. So where's my default? So let's wait to see if we can get a 15-minute swing. Okay, well, fucking price just went up to that high there, where now I really wouldn't trade anything anymore because of the fact that we are very high in this range. On a reversal play, we don't want to be high in the range. And as you can tell, YM is going and running into this relevant high here. And I really couldn't trade YM past it unless it shows that failure to manipulate signature, which it does. But fuck, dude, you're not trading a reversal day. Lagging asset reversal day doesn't exist, bro. At least I don't think so. But I'm not trading fucking I'm not trading this long ass wick to the upside. Just doesn't make sense. So with that being said, that actually could be a written rule that I could put in. I mean, it's not a written rule that I have a problem with. I just know that, you know what I mean? When trading reversal days like this, you want to trade lower in the range in order to catch the continuation and reverse it, so you can target to daily open and not entering at daily open, because that's when you can get what? A different phase in price, right? Obviously you'd want to see that deeper pullback. Once you get that deeper pullback, then maybe you can trade back up higher. But even then, bro, it's like it's very difficult to get it up to those highs, especially on a reversal day, as it can just accumulate here, as you are not going to anticipate for this candle on a daily time frame to flip bullish and really expand anywhere, because a long wick does not support expansion, right? So with that being said, I would just avoid the day in general, trying to see if I could find like a possible entry here. But there, I guess you could say maybe this 30-minute C2, and then you trade the C3. From this 30-minute C2, confirm the 30-minute C2 to trade the C3. But I just don't have a 15-minute swing here, right? Do I have one? Yeah, no 15-minute swing here. So realistically, nothing. I mean, yes, you do have this 15-minute C2, but is it confirmed with a V-shaped reversal? It is kind of confirmed with a V-shaped reversal. But why do we not want to trade this? Yeah, so it is confirmed with a V-shaped reversal. Why do you want to not trade this? Is because we're trading very high in the range on a reversal day. We can't even anticipate for the expansion to happen because it doesn't support that. However, we can target to the daily open. So once you get that 30-minute C2, look for the V-shaped reversal. Is this a V-shaped reversal? Absolutely not. Do we have a low of the 30-minute candle though? Yes, we do. So we could possibly aim for right there and then aim for that daily opening price. But even then, bro, fuck that. You're not going anywhere. If I was to go next, this thing is getting stopped out for sure, for sure. You know what I mean? So with that being said, that's why you wouldn't want to trade that day. Cool. So let's go and drop into this next one. So as you can tell, market is within the downwards flow. I would want to trade external, internal now. This is a Friday. Reasoning why I'd like to trade out external, internal is just I want to print the wick of the weekly candle. I really can't anticipate for us to go down lower that much. I'd much rather trade back into the range just for that TGIF style. Let's take a look at the daily profile. Daily profile here on YM is cooked. Don't trade this, as there is no determined high or low, and we are trading within this consolidation range. With us trading within that consolidation range, the profile is cooked. YM is cooked. Don't trade it on this Friday. It's going to consolidate right here in order to print the wick of that daily candle or the weekly candle, and we're not going to move. With that being said, on NQ, however, we do have a very valid open low high close, as we are running into external levels. Are we going to go and set a new low of week? No, we are not, right? We don't want to go and set new lows of weeks. I'd much rather go and trade back up into the range to fill that internal range liquidity. So I would let this next 4-hour candle open where we do have that expansion. I'd be looking for an external internal model now where 930 goes and manipulates, and I'd look for a 15-minute C2 formation in order for me to trade up higher. So here would be your 15-minute C2. Now we're going to be looking at a V-shaped reversal. From this V-shaped reversal, we really don't have a 3-minute CISD. It's not going to be present, so we're going to have to resort to the 1-minute time frame and then mark out a 1-minute CISD here. But my best thing, excuse me, hold on. I'm fucking out of breath, dog, talking this much. With this being said, I would much see this V-shaped reversal as more of my indication, and I'm going to be looking for like a 3-minute OB to form here, or just go straight to the fucking draw. Fuck. Well, that's that. That was the draw, and I really don't want to aim for too much. Why do I not want to aim for too much? For one, it's a Friday, and again, reversal day. Reversal days, you just want to aim for low hanging fruit that is near the daily open, not at the daily open, right? So now it would be very kind of difficult in order to get on side with anything here. So here would be like a 15-minute pull back, very aggressive push though. Not something you want to see, as YM is just still within this accumulation range. And this is a very deep pullback that does not support us to being bullish here anymore, and it'd just be very hard because there's really no stop loss placements. There's no 3-minute OBs. There's fucking nothing I can say I trust anyway. I guess you could try to trade this, but I'm not gonna trade this. This is kind of crazy, bro. This is weird conditions already, and you're trading again at the daily opening price when that daily C2 is closing on a reversal day with a large wick. What are you going to aim for? Does it fucking support a move all the way back up here? That's probably required for your 2R. That was a good ass guess, bro. Fuck. And you don't even have a 15-minute swing, no 3-minute OB. Yeah, you're just fucking cooked, bro. Does it support that move? Definitely doesn't. So I wouldn't take that, right? Does it get there? What is it going to do here? Most likely just consolidate. Why is it going to consolidate here? Oh, shit. It might actually get there. And you would have just got stopped out at break even. Lower probability trading at the daily open again. That's just not something we do on reversal days. We trade to the daily open, not at the daily open. The best place to get on side with a trade would have been away from this 15-minute C2 and trading this 15-minute C3 and confirming it with a V-shaped reversal. 3-minute, actually, this is probably the way that I should have done it, bro. The 3-minute does not exist here. So I should have resorted to the 1-minute and seeing if there was a 1-minute V-shape, as the 1-minute V-shape does exist. And then with that 1-minute V-shape, I take it as a positional entry. Stops here. And then we can target up to daily's opening price, as this is going to be your stops to break even as the highest point in this price day. Because you see how like this one fucking had a sharp reaction. I would put my stops to break even as soon as you cross that, and then you could have aimed that for 2R there. And then now once you cross it, are you safe? Are you safe? Are you safe? Do you make it? You do make it. So with that being said, that would just be trading the 15-minute C3. And because there's no 1-minute or 3-minute, I could have traded the 1-minute, and I would have been able to get it up to, at minimal, this draw here, and then just a little bit more for that 2R. Maybe even take it off at 1.8 if that's what my heart desires. But with that being said, lower probability day altogether. As you can tell, YM, you're not trading anything within this tight range. When you have a tight range like that, right? Baseline, no, right? So messy daily profile, open, low, high, low, low, close. That's what it was. Tight ranges. If it's a barcode, it will stay a barcode. And then you also do have that all objectives is taken prior, right? So with that being said, let's go and check why all objectives has been taken prior. Daily profile is cooked, open, high, low, high, low, high, low, close. Trading within a higher time frame consolidation. If it's been a barcode, it's going to stay a barcode, right? So if it's been a barcode here, it doesn't look too bad on the 3-minute time frame. However, on the 15-minute and shit, this is a straight up fucking barcode, right? So no clear order flow, then it's going to turn into a barcode like that. If it's a barcode, it'll stay a barcode. This was the best entry as that 15-minute C2, looking to trade that C3 up to the upside, and that could have been the best entry there for us to go, but that didn't happen. So yeah, that's basically what it is. All right, cool. So taking a look here, daily time frame. What can we take notice of? We do have that daily C2. So if Friday reverses price, we should be able to see Monday expand, right? At least minimal up to that high, as we do have another sweep accumulation on that Friday manipulation. Now looking for the distribution up to this range high, which that's going to be considered your draw on liquidity. There is a C2 and an SMT looking like this. YM looking a lot more stronger to get up to those highs a lot quicker. Daily profile is very clear, as we do have that AMD and the open low high close with these equal highs located above. I'm going to aim for this one. I do want to mark out these highs here just because they're separated, and I want to be aware when price does tap us into that. Because of that reason, we do have that very clean daily open low high close profile. We can take notice that we are expanding away already. With that being said, we have a 2 a.m., 6 a.m. We are tapped into a very relative levels already, and we have those equal highs above. So we're definitely fucking long bias, right? With that being said, we open up these gaps. We have been expanding. I can't long all the way at the top of the range here. Yes, we do have a pullback and we do have the SMT, but not something that I truly can say I could long all the way at the top of the range, right? So I would much more rather wait for a 15-minute swing formation and trade a 15-minute C2 and let the C2 form, and then just trade the C3 continuation. So here's the C2 closure. That'd be your C3. NQ is kind of just consolidating. Looks like NQ is going to go and take that low out again. We are confirming this gap with a 15-minute C2. From that 15-minute C2, looking for a V-shaped reversal. I'm not going to take this. Why am I not going to take this as a 10 a.m. open low high close? Is because of this large wick that is located at the top. That's an indecisive wick where it could signify that there is rejection candles happening and it could stop us out. So I'd wait for a more full body closure here or a continuation entry like that. Now with that continuation, it gives me more confidence and is more full body. It has more intent. It doesn't want to come down. So with that being said, why did I not enter on this first one? Is because of that large wick. That large wick does show me bearish intent where we are sweeping out this high and not closing. Now we have strong bodies and we failed to go down lower. So with that being said, I can take that up to those next draws on liquidity, as now I have more confidence that we are continuing up and not actually rejecting, as price is showing me that we can trade up higher from there. With that being said, I'm still trading away from this 15-minute C2, wanting to see that C2 stay intact, and then we can trade that C3 and 4 up higher. Damn, what the fuck? Fucker really missed this, huh? That's crazy. That's that for me. Damn, that really missed. Traded away from equal highs there. Daily profile definitely looked like open low high close, right? Accumulation, manipulation, expansion away, opening up of gaps, confirming gaps with 15-minute swings. Now that was crazy, right? So universal model, ERL, IRL, intraday profile, very clean, open, low, high, close, clear phases of price, expansion in, expansion away, and then we had those gaps, right? Entry signature was a 15-minute pullback play. We let the 15-minute C2 close. We traded the 15-minute C3. The draw on liquidity was still available. It was equal highs, and we did have that lower time frame V-shaped reversal. It did have a slight pullback because of that wicked out reversal, but it did have that once again push, and that confirmed me to go up higher. So where did I go wrong here, and why did this go get stopped out? They even had SMT inside that gap and shit like that too as well. So we're trading this 15-minute C2, letting that C2 close, trading the 15-minute C3. The problem with this is it swept out this high, but this high didn't even it doesn't matter that we swept that high, as my break even point was this high here, as they were equal highs with each other. So the reasoning for it to reject off of that high and do a full reversal is not really the most valid thing. I can say that we are pretty high in this expansion leg, and that could have been the cause for us to retrace quite aggressively to rebalance this leg prior to then continuing up higher. And that's probably what it is, as this 15-minute C2 is probably going to be the one that delivers us all the way up to those highs, as this is also a 12 o'clock low as getting set with a what is that called, and we can see that expand up higher. Let's see if this is the one that goes and delivers it. As that new 6-hour candle is the one that wants to go and deliver it up higher, right? Well, this new 6-hour candle does get us up to fucking high at the highest 1.6. We would just close at market close, which would be 1.4, 1.5. With that being said, just not I thought we were good because we had those equal highs and further draws. But obviously not. Maybe one way that I could have not, it is a little high in the range, right? Let me write this down. A little. It is a little high in the range. I'm not going to lie there, as we are right up against that draw in liquidity. So with this 15-minute C2, I mean, it still doesn't stop the fact that we should have went up higher, at least to that break-even point where I wanted to go break-even, which was this high here, as it's very relevant. And it's the equal highs. So reasonings why it missed that high, I really couldn't tell you specifically. But fucking accumulation, manipulation, V-shape in, retrace gap after tapping into a lot of these levels. Gap holds price up. 15-minute swing confirms the gap, also confirming the low of that 10 a.m. candle. And then you do have that CISD formation as we have that V-shape in and then the push back outwards. We get the candles closures. We start to push upwards, and it just didn't take out the equal highs. I still don't know. Yeah. Look, I think that's good, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to lie to you. Yeah, I think that was all right. I guess you could say, again, it was very high in the range, right? So let's see if this is here. So the barcode overly expanded. No, because there was a pullback. There was a pullback into that 15-minute gap, right? And I wouldn't even say like it's overly expanded. Like the overnight expansion did happen, but it wasn't overly expanded, right? I guess it did, yeah. It expanded from London all the way up. It's 200 points. It's not even that fucking crazy, bro. All right, well, whatever. That's fine. Moving forward then. Cool. So with that being said, looking like a daily C2, we are actually bearish here on NQ. That daily C2 is setting the high of this week right now. With the high of week getting set like that, we can take notice that we are compressing back down to the downside. YM still within this consolidation range, as YM does make a very deep pullback. Not exactly something that you do want to see here, especially on YM. We do tap into this relative high. We do only tap into it at... Wait, this the accumulation highs like that? Huh. I don't know. It says that it tapped into it at that 6 o'clock candle. Oh, I was aiming for these ones. That's why. Not just this one. Yeah. So YM still within this accumulation range. I don't care to trade anything here because that deep pullback does not support expansion. So we might struggle there as it just is accumulating. We can take notice that NQ is flowing down to the downside to an obvious target. Daily profile is showing me just like a straight open low profile, however. So not the best profile, as it is just straight opening low and it is just grinding to the downside. I do want to take notice that these highs is just low resistance with no significant high a day. So this already is telling me red flags, as daily profile is kind of cooked. And yeah, this is just showing me a lot of red flags here. Okay, so we can take notice we are failing to manipulate these lows, and we are going down lower here. I just really can't trade away at the lowest point of the day all the way down here. Just nah, bro. Yeah, this doesn't at relevant levels like that, nah, bro. Much rather see a pull back into the range now, and let's see if we can get a 15-minute C2. Once you get this 15-minute C2 continuation, there is a possibility for you to get this V-shaped reversal. 930 is very low in the range though, so with this being that low in the range, I think I will pass and I will not trade anything here. Just being how low we are, I would much rather get a deep, like a way deeper pullback than this. I guess you could say right here, that's actually a really good pullback, right? As this is a 15-minute V-shaped reversal. With this 15-minute V-shaped reversal here, CISD is already in full effect. You could trade this, but again, I think I'm going to pass just because of how deep in the range we are, as it is all the way at the bottom of this fucking pretty much the whole day. Literally, how we expanded again this much points. So the daily's range is low-key already expanded, so... yeah, I don't feel comfortable after we expand that much within the day. The daily's range is already expanded. Can't really anticipate for too much action. So there would be your 2R trading within that C3. I just really don't feel comfortable taking it like that. Let's see if you get it. And then you would actually get it. So that was a good trade. I just hesitated and I just thought that we were too low in the range. But I guess you could say the different phases has passed. And I overthought it. I will admit that I did overthink it. But with it being also fucking 11:30, I don't even know if I would entertain this because it'd be kind of just consolidating to me. So real market, I don't know if I would take this. Really. So it just doesn't seem, it's not screaming to me obvious, you know what I mean? So that's fine. I'll miss that one there. I'm totally okay with that. Very aggressive pushback into the range. This they did expand fucking aggressively. And then we do have this push downwards. Clear daily profile of an accumulation, manipulation downwards. And now we can take notice of the reaction from these lows here, as it may want to go up higher. YM is now outside of that range. And with YM being outside of this range, we actually got a nice accumulation, manipulation of those highs to trade down lower here on YM. With that being said, here's your accumulation. There's your manipulation of these highs. And we have that 6 a.m. C2. And we have draws on liquidity, which is going to be considered the lower end here, as this is also showing me that there is some news events here. So you have that 830 manipulation. It's just very weird for, this is a V-shaped reversal and we can trade up higher on YM or on NQ. It's just so decoupled, bro. We got a 6 a.m. C2 in both opposite directions. Which one is the true fucking model here, right? We have that 1 hour here. Which asset looks like the better framework? We do have this push down after those 3 drive patterns. We do have a 15-minute push and a 15-minute OB. Fuck, dude, this all looks good to go in either way, like a daily candle open low high close and a daily candle open high low close. With this being said, V-shape reversal as well. Fuck, that's crazy, dog. 930 manipulates and expands away. 930 goes and makes an opposing run and expands away. 15-minute C3. I'm going to go with the bullish move here on YM or on NQ, as NQ does have this nicer targets, right? The targets is low resistance as YM isn't. V-shape, retrace, accumulation, manipulation, and push back up, trading within this 15-minute C3. And we would like to see this 15-minute C3 hold price up to the upside, as the wick is small and we can go and expand at least minimal to these highs here as my draws on liquidity, and we are trading within that 15-minute C3, trading the 15-minute C4 up to the upside. Right, so with that being said, this actually looks not half bad here. Let's see if we get it. Fuck, so it's fucking bearish, bro. Chose the wrong one. It's actually YM that is the valid asset, so we are wrong there. Not entirely wrong, but wrong. So just another accumulation here. Fuck, that's fucking crazy, dude. I got that shit wrong and shit, dude. Looks like it was actually the YM short, which was valid, and the NQ long to get up to these highs was not, and we just accumulated. I thought that this 15-minute OB low is going to be considered better and the better strong one. Obviously this is a very deep retracement, but a V-shaped reversal here, right, off of this push and push, as this is your 9:30 manipulation and looking for 10 a.m. to go and hit that continuation, at least minimal to these highs and then higher. But unfortunately that didn't happen and we just got stopped out. So with that being said, fucking that's what it is, right? Cool. Might have to chill for a little bit because I don't know what's going on anymore, right? You would assume that we wanted to go. I assumed that I wanted to go higher, but we just literally went sideways here. The better asset I should have traded short here on NQ on YM, right? Just to get down to these lows as we were in a bearish market. So the higher probability trade was to go and trade lower as we was in a bearish market. Really don't have a daily profile that is, I would say, screaming out to me, because we do tap us into some relevant levels and we are getting a pretty decent reaction out of it. If we are going to be trading a reversal day right now, I'd much rather just let the reversal day close and close as a C2, or I could trade down lower to all of this low resistance liquidity that is getting left below us, as this can be your accumulation, your manipulation, and looking to do the distribution back down to the downside. We do have a 9 a.m. C2, and I could be looking for a 10 a.m. C3 to go and trade back down to the downside here, as I would like to see a V-shaped reversal. So we're not getting that, and it is pushing us up higher here. So with the pushing of us going up higher, I can assume that right now price is going to be going up to this high, as NQ is failing to manipulate it. So we can trade that lagging asset logic and trade YM up to that exact same high. We just do not have a 15-minute swing to trade away from. So let's see if I can get a 15-minute swing to trade away from here, so we can trade that lagging asset logic on YM to go up higher. So we have this accumulation signature. We want to trade away from a 15-minute C2 and trade the 15-minute C3. Here would be your 15-minute C2 formation, as it is closing very strongly to go up to those equal highs, which is located above, as that is going to be considered your draw on liquidity. With that being said, we're going to wait for that C2 closure there, and you want to confirm the C2's closure with a V-shaped reversal, and now we can trade that lagging asset logic to go and break the SMT that YM or that NQ is putting in. As you can tell, NQ is ripping us up to the upside. I really cannot trade NQ because it's so high in the range, but I can trade YM as that lagging asset to catch up to where NQ is. So let's see if we get it. Okay, stops goes. Fucking guy didn't even fucking tap me in. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck? Brother. Let's see if it goes up to 2R. We get stopped out of break even. I hope it gets stopped out of break even. Oh my god, bro. Fuck. That is fucking crazy, bro. What the fuck? How does it not enter, bro? That is crazy. Just a no-wick candle, and I didn't put it exactly on it. Fuck me, dude. It was literally 1 point below it, and it doesn't fuck. That's fucking crazy. Whatever the case may be. That's basically what it is, dude. Sorry, I'm not going to get upset about it, but that was annoying. So realistically speaking, trading that 15-minute C3 and C4 up to break the SMTs that NQ is not having any reaction off of and is ripping us up to the upside, so we can trade that lagging asset to go and break those SMTs and catch that 2R, trading away and confirming these gaps and confirming the phases in price and the formations with the 15-minute swing, and trading away from that 15-minute swing to those draws on liquidity, right? So obvious fuckingly not supposed. We were supposed to take a dub there, but fuck, can't help that, huh? So very massive expansion day on the previous day, overly expanded. What can we anticipate for this current day to accumulate? Cool. So with that being said, Right now we do have a very nice profile for YM to actually catch up to all the highs that NQ just blasted straight through. And if NQ is going to accumulate, then that means that YM should be able to go and catch up. We do have a very clear daily profile as it is open, low, high, close inside of this internal range liquidity, and we are expanding away. We have an obvious draw on liquidity right now. I do want to be aware when we do tap into this high here, as that can send us into a different phase in price. So with us tapping us into that high here, I wouldn't want to jump in immediately. I'd more so want to see a continuation through this high or a failure to manipulate. Price has that accumulation manipulation and is expanding away here, and those will open up gaps for me to frame this continuation. Because of the tapping into that relevant high, I would like to see, sorry, let me just delete this or this big ass yellow fucking block. As you can tell, tight range day, bar coding. What is NQ gonna do? Consolidate here. Why is NQ gonna consolidate? Because we have overly expanded in the previous day, so that over expansion can send us into a different phase in price. All trades here is scratched. We're not allowed to trade NQ anymore. However, we can trade YM to go and catch up to break those. Fuck. Or just go straight to all the draws. Why don't you? With that being said, right there, that's pretty much the day, dog. You really can't trade anything after that. I ain't going front about that, because now you're just way too fucking high in the range, above old highs, going for another massive expansion. It just doesn't work like that. You cannot trade fucking all the way up. You can't trade all the way up here. Everything up there is lower probability. You'd have to wait for that deeper pullback. Actually, exactly like this. So deeper pullback into the range, let those different phases in price happen, tap us into this fair value gap, get that 15-minute C2 closure. From that 15-minute C2 closure, have a V-shaped reversal. Fuck that, I'm good, bro. Yeah, I'm good here. It does work, but I'm good, bro. I'm really good, dog. I just would have wanted a 3-minute CISD, right? I guess I'm hesitating. I'm hesitating so fucking bad right now. It's just crazy. It's fucking crazy, dude. Hesitation is killing me, dog. The hesitation and the fact that my fucking orders do not want to go in, bro. Fuck me, bro. That was a fucking crazy session. This is why I don't want to fucking backtest anymore, bro. Because all it's doing is making me upset. That was insane, bro. Did you guys see that shit? I hesitated twice. I missed 2 winning trades. And I also fucking had a limit fill that did not get filled and actually just fucking turned into an ass thing. So losing session here, as all I did was take 3 fucking trades. And yeah, I lost 2 and won 1. That's a fucking session, bro. What the fuck, man? At least should have been up 2R. What a losing fucking session, bro. Fuck me. God damn, bro. Fuck. Sorry, I'm actually annoyed. I just wasted a whole fucking hour of my life. Probably wasted an hour of yours too. Sorry. Crazy, bro. Crazy. Whatever. Just nothing there really. Just poor performance. Fuck, I don't know, bro. I thought we were doing good. Obviously not, but fuck, I don't know, bro. I really don't. Fuck. Fuck, dude. 6R on the month. Just kind of trash. I ain't going front about it, but nothing you can do about that, I guess. Whatever. I'm out. Peace.